What's happening? What's happening? Welcome to another episode of Soak It Up Sunday, where we come in, we take a little word, and we use it in order for us to grow throughout the week, in order for us to get better, in order for us to achieve those goals, those dreams, those plans that we have set before us for the week. So come on in, invite a friend, invite a loved one, invite anybody that you know that needs to hear this message. Share this video as we're going live right now here at Team Focus to give you leaders, listen, something that you can feed off of, something that you can pass along, something that can help us all. So come on in as we dive into this really quick on Soak It Up Sunday. Listen, I understand that in life, man, like we get out of life what we put into life. And one of the things that really stick big with me, because I know what it feels like to be out of order. I know what it feels like when you slip. I know what it feels like when you're not practicing or training in certain areas of your life, and when you take a break. And sometimes breaks are unconsciously done. Sometimes breaks are intentionally done. And one of the things that we really have to really take a deep look in the mirror and say, listen, I need to work on this area of my life. I need to really put things into perspective. If I really want to see the fruits of my labor, if I really want to see the things that I'm supposed to see out of my life, I must really put discipline into the forefront of my mind. And I must also discipline my body, right? Because if I don't discipline my body, if I don't discipline my mind, if I don't do those things to stay in direct order, if I don't continue to take the steps that are in front of me, if I don't be disciplined in those areas, if I don't discipline my mind and my body, then I may waver to the left or to the right. And I don't want to waver to the left or to the right, because then we get off course, we get off track, and things don't happen the way we want it to happen. But when I'm able to discipline my mind and my body, I'm able to show others that, listen, this is how we continue to move forward. This is how we bound forward. You know, one of the things that I love, that I learned about in the Army, was that we disciplined our mind and our body. Like literally, those are the two key factors that is going to have you ready for any engagement, any combat, any situation, any mission. No matter what your mission was, no matter what your job was in the Army, you have to have a disciplined mind and a disciplined body, because when pain sets in, when suffering sets in, when those things that doesn't feel good sets in, then you'll tap in, you'll throw in the towel, because you don't have discipline. Long after the motivation is gone, you need the discipline, right? So I wanted to dive in on this Soak It Up Sunday as I see that discipline is in the forefront of everything that we do, because when we're disciplined, we get the results that we desire. Listen, I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying that it won't be painful, but we must be trained by it, right? And one of the things that I put into perspective as I took a little sneak peek at the Dallas and the Los Angeles Clippers game today, was watching these guys go back and forth at it. And, you know, at the end of the day, throughout that whole series, it was a 7-game series, but one of the things they did was they stayed disciplined by sticking to their game plan. No matter what, they didn't waver from their game plan. They made the proper adjustments, right? But they stayed stuck to the game plan, and that's what discipline is about, sticking to the game plan. So y'all come on in as we dive into really quick on this verse, and I'm going to break it down for you. 3 things on this week in life, period, that you can take and move forward with you, that is going to help you be better in an all-around individual, whether it's your mind that you're trying to train, it's your body that you're trying to be disciplined. You know, if someone else that you're trying to be an example for, you're trying to show for. And listen, at the end of the day, your health is your wealth. So no matter what, your mind and your body is the 2 things that you're given, right? In order to succeed, in order to keep going, in order to push forward. So in Hebrews 12 and 11, for the moment all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it, right? Those who have been trained by it. And I want you to know that no matter the circumstances, listen, it doesn't even matter. Look, I look at it like this. When you're disciplined, right? When you're disciplined in what you're doing, no matter how you feel, you have to fight through those moments of despair, those moments where you want to give up, those moments where things don't seem like they're going the way you want it to go. You have to push through in those moments, for the simple fact that those are the moments that are training you in discipline. That means that, listen, I got to do it even when I don't feel like doing it. I gotta continue to show up even when I don't want to show up. It's not saying that you can't move on, but what it's saying is I got to discipline my mind and my body in order to make sound decisions, right? But it tells us that for the moment, all discipline seems painful, right? So what pain are you going through right now in your life? You may be going through a pain in your relationship. You may be going through pain on your job. You may be going through pain in your community. You may be going pain in a relationship or at home or whatever the case may be, but it's temporary. Listen, it is temporary. That pain that you're going through. It doesn't say that you stop being disciplined. It just says that the pain right now, for the moment, the discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, right? And you know how pleasantries make us feel. You know, when we're pleased, when we get those things that we desire, when we, you know, when the checks hit or first of the month, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. When things happen or going in the right direction and you are pleased by it, right? It feels good. But when it ain't happening the way that you wanted to happen, or it didn't happen the way you wanted to happen, right? We get upset. And we find ourselves in a position of where we're experiencing that pain, and we're trying to funnel that pain through. We're trying to get that pain up out of our system. And I want you to know that it's good for us to have that pain, because in that pain, we do find purpose in that pain. Because even though you're on a journey and things are on the up and up, and then boom, you may have something that happens in your life. It may, let's just say, for instance, on a job, you might have some issues with coworkers, right? And it seems painful because they put you in a tight spot. Like you feel like you backed into a corner. You feel like that what they did, oh my goodness, it could have been catastrophic. It could be really bad, but you stayed the course because of who you are. You've been disciplined this long. You've been continuously doing what you've done. You didn't waver from the plan. You didn't waver from the training. You didn't waver from the things that you are doing. So you are disciplined because you continue to move in the manner that you already started in. You wasn't moved by their actions. They didn't stop you from moving forward. They didn't stop you from showing up to work. They didn't stop you from serving the way you serve. They didn't stop you from doing the very thing that you do. So even though the discipline at the beginning, it doesn't feel good, and we didn't get the pleasantries that we want, it doesn't mean that you won't get the pleasantries that you need, because it tells us that. But later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So we must be trained by our disciplines. Our actions speak louder than our words. And I've seen it time and time again. I've seen some people that may not even listen. It's all about focusing, right? And if you don't really realize that you've been disciplined through your actions, others will see it. Others will see it. So even if you stick to your guns and do what it is that you said you're doing, you're still able to walk out your purpose. You're still able to stick to the plan. You're still able to do the very thing that you said you was going to do, right? Number 2 is discipline is love. Do you love yourself enough? You have to ask yourself that. Do you love yourself enough to show up, right, and work out like you said you was going to work out? You got this plan that you're going to work out 5 days a week, and you're going to do X amount of miles. You're going to lift X amount of weights. You're going to do A, B, C, and D. Are you willing to stick it out, no matter rain, sleet, or snow, no matter what kind of storm may be happening in that moment, no matter what kind of wall might have came up in your life? Listen, I'm telling you, hey, I'm not just telling you this and I ain't walked through it. Like I'm being real with you right now, is that you can make it through that, right? So even though it doesn't feel the way it wants to, but do you love yourself enough to go through the pain, to go through those sufferings, to get to the other side, to get to those pleasantries, to get to the side where you bear the fruit that you sowed, the seeds that you sowed, that your harvest season on the other side? What's the good of planting a seed if you're not going to see it all the way through? So you have to ask yourself, look yourself in the mirror and say, do I love myself enough to discipline my mind and my body so I can receive the life that I'm supposed to live the life that I'm supposed to live, to do the things that I'm supposed to do? My purpose still stands no matter what I've been through. I understand that in the past you might not have been disciplined. In the past you might have went through some things where you felt yourself was out of order, and you might have made some bad choices, bad mistakes. But this is right now we're talking about moving forward. We forgetting those things which are behind us to the point to where they keep us down. We don't want it to be a catastrophe by our thoughts and by how we feel about our past. But if we can discipline our mind and our body to move forward, then we will find that discipline is love, because you take care of the thing that you love. You actually put and invest some time and resources into the very thing that you love. So I want you to examine that tonight and let yourself know, tell yourself, listen, discipline is love. So no matter how it feels, no matter if I said I was going to work out 5 days a week and on day 2 I'm a little sore, I'm still going to push through this pain, because on the other side of that, it tells us on the other side of that we're going to yield some peaceful fruit. And I want you to yield that peaceful fruits, right? For right now, the sufferings that we're going through at the present time cannot compare to the glory that is going to be revealed to us. So I need you to stay in there. I need you to hang in the fight. And number 3 is you have to train yourself to be disciplined. Listen, it's training. You can't just wake up and say, oh, I'm going to be disciplined. That's step number 1, is telling yourself that you're going to be disciplined. But the step number 2 is, if you really want to win, if you really want to succeed, right, you have to do a daily training of being disciplined. Listen, whether you need help from someone else that has been through some things and find out how discipline works and what it looks like, the structure of it, then get with that person. Like, listen, I'm gonna be real with you right now. Discipline is the very factor that keeps us going. Like, you started that business and then sales went down and you was like, man, I'm about to throw in the towel. You're not motivated anymore because you was motivated by the outside sources of what was coming in. But I want you to know that discipline allows you to keep going, because discipline starts within, right? It starts with inside. It's inside out. So discipline your mind and your body. Whether you're reading, whether you're working out, whatever you're doing to increase and to grow, we must discipline those areas in order for us to see the fruits of our labor. So we must train our bodies and our mind to be disciplined. Even though it's painful right now, it will not always be painful. See, you will reap a harvest of fruit from it if you continue to hang in there. Listen, I understand motivation is great, motivation is good, and we must continue to push through motivation. But as leaders, right, and you're a leader, if you have to get up in the morning and tell yourself to brush your teeth and comb your hair and brush your hair, you are leading yourself doing something. But I want you to remember this: whether you're playing sports, whether you're in human resources, whether you are working, whatever your craft is, whatever your job is, whatever you're doing daily, listen, you must discipline your body in the kitchen, what you eat. You must discipline your body on training. You must discipline your mind. And we must remember that it is training, because when we train our mind and our body to be disciplined, that means that we're creating discipline to become a part of us. And then we don't even have to talk about it. We can just walk in the discipline, because we're going to succeed. Listen, if you want to be a winner, I'm telling you what winners do. Winners discipline their mind and their body, so when a catastrophic storm hits, when the rain is too heavy, when the turbulence is too tough, you can still push through and get to the other side, because on the other side is exactly where the winners live at. On the other side is exactly where you're going to see your success. On the other side is exactly where you're going to see that even though the discipline was painful in the beginning, yeah, the pleasantries is on the other side of that wall. So listen, it's your boy PME from Team Focus, once again on this Soak It Up Sunday. I hope you was able to soak something up out of this message. But I need you to do something for me. I need you to share this message with someone else. I need you to share this on your timeline. I need you to send this to a loved one. I need you to share this on your page. Can I get at least 5 shares? 5 shares on tonight. Because listen, no matter what you do, if you really love yourself and you love your friends, your neighbors, whoever it is, all I'm asking you to do is share a message. This may not be for you, and this may not be the season for you. You can put it up on the shelf. Maybe you can use it later. But there's someone in your life that really needs to know that discipline is okay, because when we're trained by it, there's a reward from it. And winners win when we discipline ourselves. Y'all be blessed, and y'all have a great night.